I don't know about this. You sure this tonic's legit?
Yes, indeed. You'll become a whole new pony. You'll go from this to this. This to this. Yes, that's correct. That's right.
I'm really doubting your abilities right now. And aren't you my doctor?
I have a brother who's a doctor.
And you just happen to look entirely identical to him. This is a pretty fishy setup, Doc.
Okay, it seems I can't stay on the tonic. But how about an investment in steam power?
Dude, I run a courtroom inside of a spaceship. I don't think steam is gonna propel it anywhere.
But it's steam power.
You already said that.
Steam power.
Goodbye, Doc.
Steam power.
Damn scammers. What kind of idiot falls for these kind of things anyway?
Wonderful news, Mr. Code. I just purchased 1 million stocks of steam power. We'll be rich beyond our wildest dreams. Oh, and thank you for killing my Borg doppelganger, by the way.
Let's just begin with the cross-examination.
The Flim Flam Brothers return selling a cure-all tonic.
First thing I noticed, all the citizens of Ponyville are in complete traction. I'm curious as to what possible event could lead to so many ponies injured at once. Or maybe they all left the hospital because they all felt ripped off. I can relate. I like the world building with getting more backstory on Granny Smith as we discover she was a renowned aqua pony star and nearly broke the equestrian high dive record through old-timey movie reel style. And thus we set up Granny pining for the days of her youth. The attraction befallen ponies are then given a show with the return of the Flim Flam Brothers selling their latest product, a cure-all tonic, akin to the scam of classic con artists. And these characters are just as fun as their debut, being fast-talking, energetic con artists which you just can't help but love how entertaining they are. Again, I like how the show utilizes such characters as they're a good warning for actual shysters that exist in real life, or like what I just dealt with. The brothers then once again delivered their product description in the form of a jaunty tune, all the while curing crowd plant Silver Shill, wowing everyone. While not as catchy and memorable as Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000, it was still an overall fun sequence. And pretty much from this point, the sequence of events are pretty much predictable. We know from the beginning that this whole thing is a sham, yet once again, predictability isn't bad as long as the story and characters play well off the formula. And it does, except for this part, and it concerns the two's namesake.
Granny Smith purchases a bottle of the tonic.
Do I even need to say what's wrong with this, Your Honor? You see it. Be my guest.
I agree with Mr. Code here. I think even I can answer this one. Flim Flam Brothers. That is all.
We can trust things that are called Decepticons.
Yeah.
It's not like their names can be misconstrued in any other way than them being con artists. And after the previous encounter, we know that they're nothing but scammers. And now suddenly it's all water under the bridge, with Granny Smith willing to purchase said tonic. While they did say that she yearns for the days of her youth, it's a stretch for any of the apples to trust Flim and Flam after nearly taking the farm from them. Also, it seems like everyone in Ponyville seems to have forgot about the con artist's previous attempt, seeing as how they all immediately buy into it. So while I disagree with how the story came to this conclusion, I do like the execution of the rest of the episode. And it seems that the tonic does work well for Granny, as she does demonstrate her renewed vigor. However, Applejack is not convinced, and her and Apple Bloom go to Twilight's lab to analyze the contents of the tonic or go confront Flim and Flam directly. I guess that works too. So the brothers pretty much reveal their entire tonic is a scam, but presents Applejack with a great moral dilemma in balancing the truth versus Granny Smith's renewed vigor and happiness through the tonic's placebo effect. And I love how this little white lie builds more and more, with the brothers even trapping Applejack in her lie, selling the tonic as fully endorsed by the element of honesty, now convincing everyone it works. Granny Smith also shows no signs of exhaustion anytime during the aquapony competition, further compounding the charade. By the way, was I the only one who noticed the lack of the rest of the main six in this episode? Seems like everyone in Ponyville except them made an appearance. Anyway, Flim and Flam's assistant, Silver Shill, is confronted by Applejack, and now even he expresses his own demeanor shift in believing that it's okay to sell a sham product as long as everyone's happy. Wow. AG is in it deep. I love this conflict! And it all comes to a head with Applejack saving Granny attempting the high dive record. Cue Rainbow Flash and AJ coming clean. The Rainbow event was perfectly set up with her revealing the lie, and it was a really powerful moment. You have Applejack, the element of honesty, openly revealing that she lied, not only came clean, but accepted total responsibility for her mistake. That's epic. Think of a situation where you or someone has been lying to others and constantly perpetuates it or fabricates newer lies to cover the original, building and building until it eventually leads to a huge epic crash, being compounded by the weight of such a burden. And confessing such a huge charade is difficult, but commendable for the road to recovery. So Silver Shill outs the Flim Flam brothers who run out of town and gives AJ our next key. And finally, I like how even though Granny Smith now knows that the tonic was fake, she still retains the same level of renewed vigor and no longer fears the water. And despite this episode's predictability and some contrived story elements, I like this episode. And again, this is a great moral where a lie can work in someone's favor for so long until it becomes damaging to them. The truth can be difficult, but greater in the long run. So good times. As for our two brothers, I guess you could say they've been Flim Flam.